Where does your wealth reside? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. This here, and I'm coming to you from the front seat of my car, this here is a little piece of fake gold that we picked up today going to Columbia, California, which is up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it is one of the first major locations of the gold rush. Huge gold rush town that was built up, and it has been somewhat preserved or built back up in the image of the original town. And so they have, it's a state park, I believe, right now, and so they have little kind of a whole town set up in the old style. You could pan for gold, so to speak. You could do all these different things and see all these displays, kind of like a large indoor-outdoor museum, and took the kids there for the first time. So that was a lot of fun. When you grow up in California like I did, you're surrounded by this history of the gold rush. The 49ers, in 1849, all these people rushing to California to get their riches. And in kind of going over this concept with my wife, who didn't even grow up in the United States, she's from Ukraine originally, and going through some of the history of the gold rush and what it was all about, and how so many people got caught up in that idea of going after the gold, there's this substance that's in the land, and if I can just spend enough time and pull this substance out, then I will have all my dreams come true, which is really this great promise of the gold rush. It's the great promise of the lottery. It's the great promise of, hey, this is the shortcut. This is the thing that's going to equalize everything and make my life better, and I think a lot of people go into business thinking that, and thinking that they're digging in the wrong spot, when really what the gold rush was really showed, if you look into the history, is the people that made their money are the people that built businesses. And a very, very, very small percentage of those that went out after the gold actually built systems and built businesses to be able to pull gold out of the ground at a large enough rate that they could make money off of it then. And a great majority of all the wealth that was created, especially long-term wealth, was in playing to everybody that was trying to get gold out of the ground. And very few people got enough to make it worth their while, or got enough consistently enough to really make it work for themselves. It's not that they pulled so much gold in that short period of time that there's not any gold left. There's still tons of gold in California, Oregon, Nevada, all that surrounding area. There's gold all over. The problem is the lie that the gold is the business. The gold isn't the business. The gold is merely a substance that can be resold. But that substance, to find it, pull it out, refine it, do everything you need to do, that takes systems, that takes money, that takes business. It takes all the things that you need for any other type of business. It's just a different type of business than other types of businesses, but it's the same idea. It still takes effort. It takes systemization. It takes working with other people. Hiring people with other skills other than yours. It's not a shortcut. There's no shortcut. The shortcuts happen, but they never last. The people that found the really huge gold nuggets, it's just like people that win the lottery. Most of the time they just can't sustain it because they didn't put in the effort and build up the habits long term, and build up the thought patterns that allow them to be able to sustain it over time. Becoming wealthy, becoming rich, isn't about finding a chunk of gold somewhere. It's really about allowing wealth to be able to flow through you and your space. It's about the movement, the cash flow of wealth. It's not about finding and coming across a large sum of money or a large sum of something that can be traded for money. It's not what it's about. You probably know that. If you're a business owner, if you're an executive, if you're someone that's been in business long enough, you already understand this principle. But I guarantee you, you're surrounded by people, employees, vendors, other people, people who are new to business that you may be doing business with, that still are after the big gold nugget somewhere, figuratively at least. They're looking for that one thing that's going to change everything, that one idea, as if the idea is the business itself, as if the product is the business itself. It isn't. It's merely a function of the business. The real business is the system you build around it, the ability to be able to create a flow of wealth, a cash flow to flow through a business and be able to help you to achieve something, to create something of value, and be able to pass that along, not to hold on to it and keep it in your money vault. So this is a little fake nugget that one of the storekeepers gave my son and said, "This is real gold." Well, if this was real gold, it'd be worth so much he wouldn't be handing it to my son, that's for sure. And you could tell just by feeling it, this isn't real gold, but it's a fun fantasy to float along with, and it allows us to be able to discuss these issues, these principles that are everywhere. So if you really want to go a deep dive on your business, I'm a business strategist. I highly recommend at least picking up a copy of my book. And even if you don't like reading a physical copy, you'll go get a digital copy. And the name of my book's 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. You get a free copy at amazonproofbook.com. And we'll be back here tomorrow night. We put these on every night. Tonight, I'm still out here in California. So with a sleeping house full of people, I am in my car bringing you some quick ideas. We'll be back here tomorrow night. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.